Heyo guys, what's up? Well, in a couple of days, January 10th to be exact, is National Save the Eagle Day. And, well, what a better way to celebrate that than to do a How to Play Steve, which I know a lot of you have been wanting. So without further ado, I'm going to teach you in 3 simple steps how to beat the current meta as our favorite flying bird. Yo, what's up guys? It's the Zuba King here, and while you already know we're gonna be beating the meta as Steve, what I mean by beating the meta is, currently the meta is built to destroy Steve's, and I really have a big problem with that, and it really hurts Steve's gameplay, and honestly he should be buffed, but I'm not gonna talk about that. I've already talked about it in the past. So the first thing, always, is the items, and so there are 2 crucial items. That's gonna be Adrenaline Shot and Vampire Teeth. Now I'm gonna explain why. So Adrenaline Shot is because Steve is one of the lowest health characters in the game. And in battle, you just cannot afford to look at those medkits because Steve is such a quick action fighter and one wrong move could just end it right there. The next crucial thing is Vampire Teeth. Steve is the highest DPS damage character in the game, which is damage per second character. And since he's dealing the most damage, therefore he's going to gain the most health from Vampire Teeth. So obviously Vampire Teeth is a must. The other healing items are completely useless because Happy Trees you have to stand still. Standing still as Steve is a bad idea because you don't want to take any damage. And Bandage is the other one, which gives you health in proportion to health lost. And since you don't already have a lot of health, you don't really want to lose health to gain health with bandages. It just doesn't make sense. The last item is kind of a free-for-all. My third item, I use Defib when I'm playing teams, Coffee and Solo Standard or full, or Jungle Shoes in light or if I'm feeling it. For the 4th item slot, I would suggest Muscles, which you probably don't have that muscles, or possibly some Holy Sandals, or maybe Coffee if you want to do Jungle Shoes and Coffee. As for attributes, I just say all things on range, and then if you've got extra points, go cooldown reduction. Pretty simple there. You want to get as much range as possible as Steve. Let's go ahead and move on to tips. Okay guys, so we're going to log into a game here just to demonstrate the first and most important tip as Steve, and that is to wait. Have the utmost patience, because I gotta say right now, Steve is not a character you want to be aggressive with. You're probably like, what are you talking about, you insane psychopath? Steve is definitely a character you want to be aggressive with. And to that I say, you're very wrong. So as you can see, once you fly, you all of a sudden lose the element of surprise. Everyone knows where you are, everyone knows where you're gonna be. And what this does is it leaves you completely weak. As you can see, I'm getting my butt kicked because I'm being a little too aggressive here. But yeah, I killed them. Steve does a ton of damage, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that. So if you're a little bit more careful, you're a little bit more passive, what that does is it allows you to do sneak attacks, it allows you to save your flight for getting away, which is going to be very crucial because of how low health you have. So the real truth is, when you're playing as Steve, you actually want to use most of your weapons before you fly, because once you land your flight, there's a second where it's a animation, so your animation locked, you can't move, and people know where you are. So that makes you a magnet for damage and lots of extra hits that you really can't afford to take. So guys, when you're using your fly ability, make sure to use it at a time that makes sense. Use it at a time where you can sneak attack. Because right now, I'm going to give you a perfect example of what not to do. I'm going to chase the Snakes. As you can see, he can easily boost out of the way and shoot me. I took a lot of unnecessary damage there. In fact, I even lost a medkit. And, you know, that's a really bad situation to be in. Rather, I will hide over here and make the Nyx come to me. And that was an easy kill, guys. Did you see how easy that was? Sure, they're level 8, but you can apply the same technique to a lot of higher levels. Okay, guys, let's go into step 2. We're going to load into a brand new game, so we got a brand new fresh start for step 2. And it's solo standard, look at that. Step 2 is going to be staying in bushes, okay? Using your passive to your advantage while you're in a bush. What this allows you to do is it allows you to stay inside of bushes while using your passive. So once you lock onto a person, that's your passive, is lock on, you can see them at any time. Basically, once you've locked onto someone, it allows you to see them, and they can't see you. Once you've locked onto somebody, then you proceed to hide in a bush, and then that makes them have to come to you. That is a very important catchphrase to learn when you're playing as Steve. Make them come to you. Because the second they have to come to you, they are at a disadvantage. And what that does is it makes you have the supreme advantage. So yeah, pretty much that's step 2. For the third and final tip, we're in a new round, and that's actually going to be using houses to your advantage. So as you can see, I'm getting my butt kicked pretty quickly here. But, you see, I'm in a house. No one knows I'm in the house, except for that Jade, obviously. But if there was a Nyx outside per se, I could hover inside the house for a few seconds and then drop out immediately, scaring them, dealing lots of damage. You see how successful that was? If you do that to other characters like Nyx's, sure they can boost away, but you're going to be able to deal a little bit of damage to them. And honestly, I think that is such an influential thing to be able to do. The last tip I want to share with you guys is kind of a situational tip, which I don't like situational tips, but in this case, it's pretty powerful. If you're using Jungle Shoes with Steve like I am, and you use your active just as your Jungle Shoes activates, you actually get a boost, so you're going faster when you use your active. See? I'm going a lot faster than if I was not using Jungle Shoes. So there you have it, guys. Steve might not be the best character, but I just gave you some of the best tips you could possibly have to get better and beat the meta as Steve. Thanks for watching, have an outstanding day, and I'll see you in the zoo.